Hey guys, so I am back with another Friday book review. I'm a little bit frustrated in this review because I filmed a really good one just a few minutes ago and it said file too large to upload and I couldn't figure out how to cut it down, make it smaller, whatever. So I'm just recording the whole thing again. I already have pajamas on and I went to look to see if it uploaded and it wouldn't upload, so that just drives me nuts. So anyway, I also need your opinion about something at the end of this video, so if you don't want to hear the review, skip ahead and go to that part. So this week I did H.G. Wells' The Time Machine. This book actually surprised me. It's a tiny little book. You can probably get this done in a day, a couple hours maybe. This book really surprised me because I am not a science fiction fan, or so I thought, right? Because I read this book and it was actually really, really good. It got my attention from the very beginning and it held it the whole way through. So what this book is a person called the Time Traveler. We never hear his real name. He's just always referred to as the Time Traveler. And he literally travels to the year, 802,701. So, yeah, he goes, what happens is he has this group of men that come to his house every week, and something is not right with my computer. Oh, dear. Okay, sorry. Something was just really weird going on, so I had to stop it while I was looking at it. Anyway, so he has this group of men over and he says, look, I have this tiny little time machine, and he makes it zip off into the future. And of course they think it's like a hoax or whatever, so they're like, yeah, right, whatever. It was a joke. How did you do it? It was a magic trick. Nobody believes that he made this little time machine zip off into the future. And he was like, well, the cool thing is, guys, I have one sitting right over here that I'm getting ready to like go on this big adventure on. And they're like, yeah, right, that's not what it does. So anyway, the next week, I think it's on a Thursday, they all meet up together. He has them all back over. He leaves a note that says, if I'm not here by 7, go ahead and start dinner without me. I'll be with you shortly. So, of course, he's late, and they're all kind of wondering what's going on. Where is he? What's the time traveler doing? So, the time machine was actually gone. He had gone to the year 802,701, and he meets this race of what he thinks is of a future us, basically. And there are these kind of not so intelligent people. He kind of feels sorry for them. One of them starts to drown and he saves her because the other ones weren't like really paying attention. They were just kind of stupid. So he feels sorry for them in a lot of ways. He finds out that they're vegetarian. He tries to learn parts of their language. So yeah, he's off in the future doing his thing. There's also this like subterranean species of what he believes is human. Also, he figures that some people stayed above ground and evolved into this thing, and then some went below and evolved into what these things were. And he has weird names for them, whatever he calls them. But it's all about his adventure in the future, how he saves this one. She kind of falls in love with him. Not really in love with him, but she does have a great affection for him. And he finds out that they're scared of the dark. They don't know. He doesn't know why. He doesn't know what's in the dark. It scares them. That's when he discovers the subterranean species. He describes him as looking like an all-white, ape-like figure that only come out at night. And then he finds out that they are actually eating the ones that live above ground. It's almost, I think he refers to them at one point as cattle. They're being raised just to be slaughtered and to be eaten. So that upsets him a great deal. And they have actually also, when he goes to get back on his time machine to come back to his own time, they have actually stolen his time machine. It's in this thing that he can't get to. He can see it, but he can't get to it. And nobody can help him, so at first he freaks out, but then he calms down and realizes, I've got to figure out how to get out of this mess that I'm in. And it's just about what he sees and what he encounters. And, eventually these mean subterranean creatures, like, come after him. He sets fire to part of their, like, area there. I mean, huge, big, blazing fire. So he scares them to death, basically. But they attack him, sort of come after him in the end, and he escapes on his time machine, and he goes 3 million years into the future and sees what the world is like. At that point, there are no more people left at that point. So yeah, it was just a really interesting book. Really interesting to see how we almost don't evolve. I mean, we evolve into those species of whatever they were, but they're not very intelligent. So it's kind of like we didn't evolve at all. I don't know. It's really interesting. It's an interesting concept. Of course, the book tells the story better of his time travel experience and the landscape and what he sees and the animals that he encounters and the plants and these people and what they look like all of that's in the book. You just have to read it to get all of that. And then he comes back to his previous time, and he shows up late for dinner, and they're like, good God, what happened to you? Because he's all dirty and stuff. And he's like, look, I just lived 8 days in the future. I need to go get a shower. I need to get some food, and then I'll tell you everything you want to know. And, of course, no one believes him. You know, that's just the way it goes. But then at the end of the book, it wraps up really kind of nicely by saying that the time traveler, one of the guys comes to visit him, and the time traveler has a knapsack and matches and, I don't know, some other stuff. Oh, a camera, because he assumes that he's going to go back to the future and take pictures and come back and tell him all about it. But the time traveler disappears, and he's still gone, obviously, or we would have time travel today. So that was kind of an interesting way to wrap up. Anyway, like I said, I'm not a science fiction fan, so if you are, you should definitely read this book, because I'm not, and I loved it. I thought it was a great book. I give it an A+, actually. Just because it's a short, nice little read. I was afraid that it was going to be too scientific-y for me, and I wouldn't understand it, but that was not the case at all. I understood all of it. It was not complicated to read. Great book. Definitely recommend it. It's thought-provoking. So, yeah, check it out if you haven't read it. And, again, I think it's one of those books that they recommend that you read in school. It was so good, as a matter of fact, that I never had interest in reading any of H.G. Wells' stuff because I was under the impression that I didn't like science fiction, but since I've read this book, I might go ahead and read some of his other works. That's how good it was for me. So, yeah, definitely read it if you can. And, again, H.G. Wells was a pretty interesting guy, too. So, okay, and now on to my opinion. I hope I can squeeze it in before this video cuts me off and says that my file is too large, but this is very important that I ask you this. I have moved into this lady lounge. That's what I call my little room. Ultimately, I wanted it to be a library and a place for me to film, but I haven't gotten around to putting my books in here yet. I have a bookcase in my bedroom that I was going to move in here, but one bookcase just isn't enough. I have a ton of books down in storage, and I hate that. And I think what I decided to do instead of doing like bookshelves is to put the shelves on the wall, like, you know, those little metal things and the wood shelves. I don't know. You can get all the crap at Lowe's, which is what I plan on doing. I've decided to go with that so it's up off the floor. I think it would just look a little bit nicer than some cheap bookshelves that I have. So my question is this, though. I'm going to try to show you this without making you seasick. I don't know if I should put it on this wall, above my little couch over here, my love seat. I'm not sure if I should put shelves above that, or I have a large blank wall over here. So I'm not sure if I should put them on this wall either. I'm almost thinking that they should go on the very large blank wall, because then I can have more shelves and they can be longer, as opposed to over my little left side. I'm kidding. I was looking at my own videos and seeing the same stuff in the background, so I know you all have to be. So, and I want to get my books out of storage. So which do you think? Do you think I should put more bookshelves on the bigger blank wall, or fewer, but it would look really cool over the couch? I'm not sure which. So tell me what you all think, and then I'll let you know what I decide, or hopefully you'll see it soon, hopefully in a few videos. So anyway, guys, have a good weekend. I'm not sure. I want to post this on Friday, but I could get crazy and post it on Wednesday. I don't know. So either way, have a good weekend, and I will see you all with my next review. And it is going to be, hold on, I'm not prepared because I thought I was done. Sorry about the dogs. It's going to be Gerald's Game of Stephen King. I read this in high school, so I'm anxious to reread it and see what my opinion is of it now. So that's going to be coming up next week. Talk to you guys later. Bye.